This one simple maintenance job can lower your power bill, improve your air quality, and actually improve your comfort in your home. A lot of people hire these out. I do it myself. I'm going to show you how we do it real quick. So before I get started, and this, I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm just going to make, because of the constraints of this room, it's like a tiny room. An air conditioner has an inside part of it, and it's called an evaporator or an A coil, depending on the technical term is evaporator. Everyone refers to it as their A coil. You got your outside unit. It pumps it through this line set into this. It works just like a giant refrigerator or whatever. And behind this is our evaporator or A coil. When I put the system in 2018, I did it with my dad. I grew up in the HVAC industry, but I don't know how to do tin work. We kind of we put a bigger system in, and we took it out of the A coil out of its case and slid it into the plenum here. And that's why it doesn't look correct. But when I replaced the furnace here, probably this year, it's like, this one's 30 years old, still working great. But I want to make sure I can get it on wholesale before my dad's account closes. I'm going to get that. And then when that comes, I'll hire the tin work out, or my son knows how to do it. So I'm going to show you how we clean this. Now, if you have pets are silent, or not silent, but they destroy more things than you can see. One of them is your air system. So we showed you in the last video, we showed you how we deal with a lot of that. We have an air scrubber, homemade air scrubber, how we deal with a lot of that dust and dander and stuff in the upstairs or in the house. But this system pushes all that throughout the year. So we're going to clean the evaporator. I'm also going to take out the blower motor from the furnace. I didn't do it last time, and we're going to clean that. It's not super hard to do or super technical. It takes a lot of patience, and it's noisy. It takes, like, if you want to hire it out, that's fine, because they do it all. The companies, that's their bread and butter in the summer. It's about a $500 job. So what's your time worth? It's going to take about 2 hours. So let's get started. First thing I have to do is remove this. So it's out of my way. This is turn the power off, which it comes off anyway when you take the top off. I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to take this door from the old A coil off. And then you can see this crease here. We just bend this back, and then we can get to A coil's about this tall. That's how we get to the A coil. I'm going to pull out the squirrel cage. Some people call it the squirrel cage. It's the blower motor. It's the furnace motor, the blower motor for the furnace, but it has a squirrel cage. I'm going to take the whole assembly out, and I'm going to clean that just because I want to keep our air cleaner. I didn't do it last time. And then I already took the filter out last night. It was so hot in my house last night that I just took the filter out and said, I got to do it.
But it was 80 degrees in our house last night.
All right, so I'm going to get started here. And now it depends on the draft too. This is an updraft furnace, so the A coil's on top. If you're downdraft, it's going to be on the bottom. If it's a horizontal, it'll be on one of the sides. Depends on where you live and how they put them in and all that stuff. So I unscrewed one of these because it's still in the... For some reason, I have a big long screw in here. I think it's because it didn't take when I was closing it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why that big screw's in there. So one of the things you'll see when it gets clogged up, you'll see water come down here. So this drain is clogged, so I will end up cleaning that too. But it's clogged, and I can tell because there's water on the top of this. Then here's the fun, messy part. I gotta get all this true duct tape, the foil tape off. And that's because I didn't do it right when I put it in. I didn't do it the correct way. It still works. It's still fine. The problem is my dad does this. He was 83 now. He was 76, 78 at the time. And it was hot, and we just wanted to get it done. He just did this. And then we came back the next year to help me clean this. He's like, who did this? He totally forgot he put this in, and he did. He's like, why did you do it this way? So it is what it is. I will get a friend that knows tin work, and we'll get it fixed at some point, but this is how it works for now. So all you HVAC people, and I know I'm gonna get comments all over, so that's why I'm over-explaining. So this goes all the way up there. There we go. We just fold this out of the way. Oh yeah, it's pretty nasty. So even though we changed the filter regularly, hey, that's actually not too bad in there. That's usually where it's nasty. You can see right there, you can see all that dog hair. You think that's all that needs to be done. See, that's clean. Oh, we just need to clean that one side. That's not biggie. Well, I thought that too the first time I cleaned this. I saw some screws, and I took this cover off. Where this screw is behind this thing here, and so I got the screw out. I had to go up from underneath. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get out. You just kind of have to bend it out of the way. So that's part of that is the dogs. A lot of it is, you can see the hair, but a lot of it's just the dirt nastiness we have with our environment where we live. I'm gonna get my headlamp so I can work better, but that's causing everything to not flow very well. It's restricting airflow, which then causes things to ice up. Then it's just like if you're a dirty evaporator on your fridge. The more that runs, the worse it gets. And so I'm gonna run and grab my headlamp so I can work better. The last time I figured out a way to do it real fast. So it's not chemicals either.
Nope.
So I got about half of it done. My light just fell down in there. I'll have to grab it. And it's not like perfect. Ooh, it looks like there's some up on the top, but it's a lot better. This other part that I showed you was, I got about half of that side done, but look compared to the other side, see how much better it's looking. I put this down so it doesn't get a bunch of junk down in there. It falls on the heat exchangers. Technically, when you heat them up, it'll burn that off. That's what smells like dog hair or dust when you put your furnace up at the beginning of the year. But it's just more stuff in there, so I try to keep as much as I can out. Well, before I learned this way, I was doing it with, I bought this brush, these brushes to do it with. This one's a soft bristle, but with the hair and the amount of dust that is actually dirt from all the gravel pits around here, didn't do any good. So I bought this one, and it's supposed to go down in between the fins, and it did a crappy job. It damaged the fins. Problem with these newer, higher efficiency machines or air conditioners, this evaporative coil and outside, is they get a little bigger to make them more efficient. But another thing is they have more fins on them, and the fins are closer together, so they get more damage. So you want to pull as much heat off as you can to make them more efficient. And so part of that is now these are so close together that no matter what you do, it's going to damage it. That's why it looks like it went through a car wreck. But one thing that I did, I was so frustrated, stuff wasn't coming off. I even bought this chemical stuff. It didn't work. This is just a household steamer cleaner, $50 on Amazon. And this one might've been 60. It's a pretty heavy duty one. It's not these little $20 ones. I used this last time and it just peeled the rest off. That's just like in one big coat. How I got the idea, this is how I clean evaporators or defrost evaporators on fridges. So it just makes short work out of it. Also cleans up all the dirt and stuff. I've been doing it about 40 minutes, not even 40 minutes, half an hour, and I'm halfway done. Where before I was working on it 2 or 3 hours. Now that's just this part of it. I've got to do the motor when we get done. So hopefully so I'm gonna get busy and I'll show you when I'm done. Got it done. This was extremely nasty. We'll show some pictures of it in there. AC is about 10 years old, and you've never had this done, like a professional come out and do it, or you do it, and you're just noticing it's not starting to cool as much. Take a look at this, or call someone, a reputable company, not a big company. You want a 1-2 truck guy, give it a clean. It'll be $500, $600, maybe $700. Some parts of the country, maybe more, but it will save you thousands, because if you just hire one big company to come out, they will come out and say, oh, it's not cooling, it's 10 years old, you need a new unit. That's $10,000. So all it needs is a good clean. Like this furnace is 30 years old. I put a motor in it twice. I've done some igniters, things like that, just keep it clean. I'm just gonna replace it just because I need to later, but it works fine. You don't need to replace your AC every 10 years like they're telling you. And the efficiency, the more efficient you get, the more of this type of problems you have. It's just something that has to be done. If you haven't done it yet or hired someone to do it, this is something you need to do. Okay, so we're done with this. I'm gonna show you on in here. Not perfect, so you can see metal. Like I said, it looks like a car wreck in there because before I figured out the steam method, I was trying to scrape it off with those brushes that they sell you. The brushes didn't work very well anyways. All they did was damage it. This will save me from having to buy a new unit. The other thing I keep on hand for my AC is I keep an extra capacitor, because when it goes out, it's always 105 degrees outside. And they're like $20. It's a $500 service call if you call someone out. That goes on the outside unit. That just helps start that big compressor motor. And those are the two, that's the most common repair. So I just keep that. You don't need an AC license to do this or to put that capacitor in. The AC license is just to deal with the sealed system, the refrigerant. So you could actually even start a business up if you wanted to, just strictly cleaning these. Yeah, and you got to check your state. The next move is to take out this motor. I'll show you how we do that real quick. This is kind of a pain because of where it is, but I'll show you. It's pretty easy to do. The first time I had to change it out. The first time I did this was actually before I upgraded my AC, and the first time I did this, when I went to put it back together, the motor didn't start, so I had to put a new motor in then too. But even a new motor in your furnace, that's a $600 job. You don't need to replace your furnace. So there's usually a screw up here on this. The new ones are a little different. It had 2 screws in it. I only put 1 back. So I just take this, and first thing I do is I take a picture of the board. So I take a picture of where these wires go in, and then because you got to disconnect them. go ahead and I'm gonna take this out. Oh, you know what? I had to replace this motor last summer, so I cleaned it. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let me check in the inside. I'm gonna reach up in there and grab all that nastiness that's kind of on this lip. That's all that's up there. Yeah, just a handful. So I'm gonna slide that back in and we'll put it back together. All right, we're at the tail end now. Put the squirrel cage back in because I forgot that I replaced the motor and cleaned it out completely last summer. So it wasn't too bad. I'm just gonna reverse the process. And first I gotta take this plastic garbage bag out with all the junk on it. Hopefully I didn't get too much down on there. Yeah, there's a little bit, but I'll clean that up real quick. We'll reverse the process and put a new filter in. Good to go. All right, here's just a random vent in our living room after we finished. I want to show you the difference for the airflow. See how that toilet paper just flows now? That's about 2.5 feet off the ground, where before you could barely feel it when you put your hand 6 inches above the vent, but that's decent airflow. If I was sitting here in this next to the couch, I could feel that cold air coming in. There's our air control upstairs in our hallway. I want to show you. See that now? Now that I got it clean, it's sucking air really good. So we got some good circulation. That'll help lower our bill. All right, so we're all back together. AC's on. It made it look like a lot harder than it was. And it was harder this time because I was filming it. It always is. Sometimes it's not always glamorous. It's taking care of the systems that take care of you. And an air conditioner in our environment is a lifesaver. You can't live without it. And just like anything else, it needs maintenance. You can pay for that maintenance, or you can learn how to do some of it yourself. And this is one that we do ourselves. It's something that needs to be done yearly. Not everyone has to have theirs done yearly. We just happen to live in a dirty area and we have pets, and pets will destroy everything. Anyway, I hope you learned something. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, put them in the comments below. I know we're gonna get killed on this system, so we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.